Okay, good morning everybody, it's Mike and welcome back. I hope you had a great 4th of July holiday period and weekend, and now it's time to get back to work. So let's get back into our habits, our rituals and routines, and let's kill it for the second half of 19. What do you say? You know, I want to start us off this morning with a question for you. Why are some agents struggling and some are killing it? Why is that? Speaking with a friend of mine who sells real estate in Charlotte this weekend, and I don't think she was bragging. It just kind of was a natural part of the conversation where she was telling me that she had hit a goal of hers, which was to have 5 years of living expenses in the bank, cash, liquid. That was what was important to her. That, Mike, if I didn't make another dollar, I could live and pay my bills and expenses and maintain my lifestyle for 5 years. And I thought, that's awesome. And then in my mind I was thinking, but why are some agents struggling just to pay their bills for this month? What's the difference? So here's what I want to do. Each morning this week, I want to cover this with you because I'll be arrogant enough to say I think I've isolated it down. And here we go. What if it's just built within the questions that we ask ourselves? Like, what if we're just asking the wrong questions? Like, what's the wrong question? How do I generate more leads? I see this going on all over Atlanta real estate now. Agents pouring themselves into how do I generate more leads? But what if that's the wrong question? Asking a question like that of myself might lead me to bad decision making. Like what? Like I might start trying to buy them. Like I give out my credit card number and incur a large thousands of dollars of expenses up front, or I'll pay 30 to 40 or even more % of my commission dollars at closing. And then we walk out of closing and we've got the smallest slice of the pie of all. Right? Why? Well, I just asked the wrong question. I asked a question, how can I generate more leads? Well, what are leads? Because this has got to be the most overused, trite expression in real estate these days. What are leads? Aren't they just inquiries? Aren't they just people that said, I might have an interest in buying or selling a home. I just really want a little bit more information. How about you? Have you ever wanted a car that you didn't buy? Are you anything like me? Do you see a car sometimes, like those of you that know me, the Porsche Panamera? Like, I'm never going to buy one. Whether I can afford it or not is irrelevant. I'm never going to buy one, but I want it. Have any of you ever wanted a car that you didn't buy? And maybe you even checked it out online a little bit. You took a little virtual tour of the inside of the car, or you watched a video on it. Did that mean you were going to buy the car, or you were just kind of dreaming about the car a little bit? Does that make you a liar? Because in real estate lingo it does. Buyers are liars, right? Buyers are liars. What a bunch of baloney. No, they're not. Because I watch a video about a Porsche on the internet doesn't mean I'm going to buy one. And because somebody responded off of some internet thing and asked for a little bit more information or wanted to go to the next step with it, doesn't mean they're a home buyer. It doesn't mean they're a home seller. It just means that they're what we would call a lead or an inquiry. They've expressed some level of interest. Let's get it for what it is, folks. It doesn't mean that they're going to buy a home. And then when they don't behave the way your false expectations assumed that they would, then we start calling them liars. Don't say that around me. I'll go freaky on you. Internet buyer leads, for sale by owners, you know what? It's all the same thing. These are just people who said, I might be interested in buying or selling a home. Doesn't mean that I'm going to. Means that I have some mild level of interest. These leads are all bullshit. Buyers are liars. I wouldn't say that around people like Lisa Lewis, Juan Rivera, Leah Nascimento, or Leanne Maxwell, who are killing it with buyer lead generation, killing it. Or on the seller side, people like Bob Clarkson, Carl Phillips, David McGee, with their For Sale by Owner program, and some of you are trying to work this program and you're not getting anywhere near the same results. Why? They're so much smarter and better than you? No. Those 7 people that I just named off aren't any smarter or better than you are. But I'll contend they might be asking themselves a different question each day. I contend that some of us might be asking the wrong question, like, how can I generate more leads? And you think that a lead is a serious prospect. I don't. I just think it's an inquiry. Other people are asking questions like this: how can I be more effective with the opportunities I generate? Now, there's an interesting question, and right there is what I want to focus on with you this week. Not generating more leads. Folks, the fact is, we've got over 1 billion leads a year being generated in this country for about 5 million transaction sites. We're generating 200 times more leads than we are transactions. We don't need more leads, folks. Perhaps we need to be more effective with the opportunities we already have. Before you start giving out that credit card number or signing up for a referral fee program and giving away more and more of the money to people that are just pushing inquiries to you, maybe we get more effective with the opportunities we already have. It's not the leads, it's what I do with them. You know why? Here's why. It's big ticket sales. We're not selling candy bars at the checkout line in the grocery store. It's big ticket sales, which means that it's a process for people. It's not impulsive. They don't just drive by a house, see it, and go, well, I like the way that looks, I'll buy it. That's what you do when you're checking out at the grocery store and you buy a National Enquirer magazine on the rack. We ain't selling that. This is big ticket sales, which means there is a process of consideration going on with all buyers and sellers. But I've got one other question I want to ask you today before we start building an effective campaign. Are we being a tad intellectually lazy? Do we want it to be that? Do we want it to be that candy bar at the checkout lane? But knowing in our hearts and our souls that it's really not that. It's big ticket sales. It's why you get paid thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars for one transaction. Why? It's a process. And I'm going to make this contention for almost all of you. Not all of you, but most of you. When that trips in your brain and you get that this isn't selling candy bars, this is a process, an organized campaign. When you get that part and you become willing to implement an effective, consistent campaign with the opportunities you've generated, you're going to become just like one of the 7 people that I've mentioned earlier. You're going to start killing it. Because the reason why some agents are killing it and others are struggling, an organized, effective, unique, robust follow-up campaign with the opportunities they've generated. They aren't just hitting it and quitting it, folks. Now, they're implementing a consistent follow-up campaign with every opportunity. And that's what I want to help you build for yourself this week. So I'm going to make a deal with you. If you'll join me on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, each day I'm going to give you 5 steps in an organized follow-up campaign. So by the time we get off our 10, 12-minute call on Thursday morning, you've got a 15-step follow-up campaign that you can implement at no cost. Now, I'm going to say that, at no cost, zero. because I'm a big fan of free, and I am sick of watching agents like you waste your money with hucksters. That's right, hucksters, rip-off artists that are entirely intent on stealing money from real estate agents who are trying to buy their business. Am I saying that internet buyer leads are bullshit? I'm not saying that. And I can point out agent after agent to you that is very successful in this area. Here's what I am saying. If you're being intellectually lazy, if you're trying to sell candy bars like you sell houses, then you've got a problem. And that's why you're struggling. So hang with me this week, starting tomorrow morning, each day, 5 steps and an effective follow-up campaign. Be early to the call this morning. Tomorrow we're going to get started early, right on time at 8:30, and I'll see you then. Between now and then, I want you to go out there and make it happen today.